Hey, everybody, welcome to Cake Burger. I am Steve.
And I'm Mike. I had to do something so I wouldn't put I just like this. I couldn't do that again.
It looked like you were really making a point. Yeah. So use your voice and not your body. So
I'm gonna move it so you don't see my chairs. There we go. You see
I'm in my bedroom. It's no secret that I'm slanting my bedroom.
Yeah.
Anyway, today's our not two over comics. Oh my god, I'm screwing the whole thing up.
I think I said that too.
Yeah, but anyways, our Cake Burger weekend news wrap up. Today is what is it? Tuesday, the 8th of September, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
So anyway, we have it's kind of a slow weekend as far as like news goes, as far as comic book especially goes, as far as some geeky news that goes. But we're gonna give it our best. I know Mike has a few stories. I have a few stories I'm gonna throw at him, and we're gonna chew the fat about those. Just into that like that geeky nerdy blubber that is.
Do that again. That was hot. Do that again.
So anyway, the first I have two stories that are kind of like entertainment stories. The other two are kind of comic booky. Again, like I'm sorry for if it's an uninteresting topic, but to me it's an interesting topic. The first one we're going to talk about is Tristan Jones calling out Greg Land on Twitter about copy. Basically, Marvel, if you guys don't know, Marvel bought the Aliens and Predator property from Dark Horse, so they'll be producing those comics.
They just keep stripping from Dark Horse.
Yeah, this is
guys. Dark Horse, if you're following us, please go back to our podcast about taking the Nintendo stuff. Yeah. It seems like you have some rights to the Nintendo properties. Go full forward with that.
Be a little aggressive, Dark Horse, and get that Nintendo book going. And we all want them. I know I want them. Anyway, Greg Land, they had the solicitations for the first Alien comic, which was by Greg Land. For those of you guys who don't have any background on Greg Land, he's a notorious swipe artist. To put it bluntly, has copied a lot of his work from pornography. You'll look at a lot of his Ultimate Fantastic Four, his X-Men stuff. A lot of them, if you actually research it on Google, you'll see people put frame for frame. A lot of O faces from Emma Frost and Jean Grey and Sue Storm and all that. And so he's been called out numerous times for swiping work. This time, Tristan Jones, who used to draw the Alien comics back for Dark Horse, pointed out that Greg Land took an image from one of Tristan Jones's Alien comics and basically just photoshopped different angles. So he basically changed the angles of it, like the arm. And I'll put a little bit of clip art in there. Pretty much, it's hard to explain a little bit, but basically he photoshopped his image and then kind of added a little paint things here and there and colors here and there, but it's the same exact image. Greg Land or Marvel hasn't really responded to it, but apparently this is kind of a little bit not common practice as far as swiping goes. You've seen homages to the Todd McFarlane covers for Spider-Man and Jim Lee's for X-Men #1, but this was kind of like just an artist taking somebody else's work and getting paid for it. While Tristan Jones, who obviously worked during the pandemic and slowed down, had to take on a daytime job because he couldn't support himself just drawing comics. For me, as an artist myself, I find very egregious. I don't know why Greg Land still keeps on getting work. He used to draw Nightwing back in the day, back when Scott McDaniel left, and he did cross-gen stuff. But Greg Land, he should not be getting work right now. He's getting paid for just copying, for just basically just tracing, pretty much. Tristan Jones, I also have a lot of affinity for, because back when I was when I first started drawing back when I was a kid during the Wizard World message boards, and I was putting a lot of my art up there for critique. There was only two artists who gave me some serious critique, my artists, and it was Mike Riengo, the late great Mike Riengo, who was very, very nice and very supportive and gave me a lot of great pointers. And there's Tristan Jones, who I only knew him from some Turtle Commissions and Ghostbusters work, and they were both very helpful to me as far as pointing out some of the things I could do. So I'm definitely interested. I'm a little bit biased coming in his court, but yeah. So what do we think about that, Mike?
There's been I feel like that if he is a decent artist, Land, that he shouldn't need to be copying other people's work.
Yeah.
I've always liked his artwork. He did the artwork for, I believe it was him, for that Symbiote Spider-Man run.
I think he actually did the book that Maestro book you're reading too.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the artwork's fantastic. So why? I don't know if he felt he was being rushed to whip something up real quick and just took the easy way out, or if he's just procrastinating. Either way, it's lazy, and I'm not really an artist at all whatsoever. I mean, you guys, Steve, you see my stick figures, what we do for drink and draw.
They're
But
better than you know.
yeah, but to copy someone's work is just downright lazy, and it's like, come on, you're better than that, Greg Land. So
If you can't draw xenomorphs, don't sign on for the book. Say, hey, I appreciate the offer. I can't draw xenomorphs. Hire Tristan Jones, who could use the work, honestly.
exactly, Greg Land is established enough in Marvel where he's going to get the next Spider-Man, the symbiote Spider-Man miniseries that's going to tie in with the Null storyline that's coming out in December.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you got an artist who already knows the book, like I'm sorry, what was his name again? Tristan Jones, who had to take a second job in order to survive. So you're gonna take established talent that already knows the book and give it to Greg Land, who basically just, like I said, copied his work and change a few background layers and whatnot. That's just lazy and unforgivable, I guess I would say.
Yeah. So, well, that's that story right there. It's a little ongoing. Unfortunately, it's kind of commonplace in the comic book industry, and we'll see how it turns out. I hope Tristan Jones gets some more work. I hope they sign him on to do the Aliens book part full time at Marvel. That'd be great. Yeah. Or even Predator. I mean, he's a great artist. I'd like to see him get some more work. That's that story. Moving on for our only other comic book story, because oh my god, this COVID thing's really speaking everything to a halt. Mm-hmm. We have a Shang-Chi miniseries, a 4-part miniseries coming out by Gene. I forget the name. It's the name of the writer who did Superman Smash the Klan and did that horrible run in Superman 2 during the New 52 with John Romita Jr. Oh. But it's a 4-part series, obviously coinciding with the movie that was supposed to be coming out.
So yeah, so when I saw this news, I actually thought that she might have been actually his movies, like she was going to be in the movie.
Well, I'll tell you, I think she is. Her name is what is it? I have it written down right there. Sister Dagger, which is reveals to be Shang-Chi's sister, I think. I think this is. If you guys haven't been paying attention to the casting in the Shang-Chi movie, Awkwafina is supposed to be in the movie, and she's been very secretive as to what her role is. I'm guessing she's going to be the Sister Dagger character, and I think that's why they're introducing her right now to kind of coincide with the movie. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much all we know. It's a 4-issue series by the writer who did Superman Smash the Klan, so they got a lot of clout. She has I don't know if some guy or girl, to be honest with you, the writer, but so far her only superhero work has been the Superman title and so Superman pretty much. A lot of indie work, but yeah. So I mean, what do you think, Mike? You excited about Sister Dagger and the Shang-Chi?
It would be interesting to see what she's been all these years, or probably something where she's the forgotten sister or something like that.
That's what it'll be. It'll be some kind of like
it's kind of exciting. I mean, I only briefly knew, my most knowledge of this character was when he was in the Ultimate book of Ultimate Spider-Man during the Ultimate Nights run.
Yeah.
So that's the most knowledge I have of Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I mean he's based on David Carradine's character from Kung Fu. I guess they couldn't get the license back in Marvel back in the day, so they created this character Shang-Chi. I'm excited. I'm excited with the movie only because the comic I don't care about at all. Yeah. Because I mean, as well as I've read some of the old comics and they are well drawn. They're drawn almost like a kung fu tutorial, like instruction manual, pretty much. Like the
that was out of the 70s, right? Well,
back when like Luke Cage first came out and that kind of thing, and Iron Fist and those guys. But I mean, as far as like those books, like martial arts books, they don't really translate that well to like comic books. They're more like I love martial arts movies. I love a good martial arts movie. I think if they do Shang-Chi right, it could be a really good movie, but it sounds to me like they're basically just aping Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat and then doing a Marvel tournament in the movie.
Because I mean, that came around the time of Luke Cage and Iron Fist, and even to this day, I didn't actually enjoy Iron Fist on Netflix.
Yep.
I do understand the criticism and whatnot that it got, and that I do also agree that there should have been a lot more. Should have been like of the quality of Into the Badlands type, not maybe as gory as bloody.
You had a lot of lore though about the Kunlun. You had an opportunity to do something bigger, but unfortunately they hired Scott Buck, one of the cheapest producers, like in the TV land. what else you could have done to make Iron Fist better? You should have made Shang-Chi instead of Iron Fist.
Yeah.
I think they just wanted that Power Man Iron Fist like thing during Defenders. Like so.
And it would have been great. And I think the biggest fault from real quick on tangent, like we like to go on, the Netflix shows. I think everything was a letdown after Daredevil because Daredevil was just so phenomenal.
I think all the first seasons were great, and then it kind of, I mean, but Daredevil stayed good the entire way through.
Yeah.
And I think the rest of them kind of petered out a little bit. Maybe they knew the writing was on the wall. I don't know. Maybe, machinations may have been in play as far as Kevin Feige shutting the whole thing down, but it is what it is. But as far as the Shang-Chi comic goes, sure, I mean, like, maybe I'll check it out. Maybe I won't. I'm definitely going to see the movie. And I definitely think this Sister Dagger is going to be Awkwafina's character in the movie. I really wish in the movie that they go the whole James Bond, like a kung fu James Bond type, like, Jackie Chan type character. But I don't know what they're going to do. It sounds like they're doing Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Marvel, pretty much. At the same time, the Mortal Kombat movie's coming out, too.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. So that's our comic book news, pretty much. The other two stories I have are nothing. Well, they're nothing. They are big, but I mean, they're well, I guess we'll get right into it. Robert Pattinson, the Batman, as well as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, both tested positive for Corona. The Rock and all his family have been infected. I guess like a week into like reshooting the movies, Pattinson came down with it. So a little bit of trouble for the DC extended universe, I guess. Movies.
And Patrick is getting my nerves about this. He texted me to gloat about the Batman movie. And I proceeded to say, Patrick, I love you. I'm glad you're on the review show. But goddamn, I can't wait to rub it in your face when this is the best, most comic book accurate Batman movie to date.
You know what, though? I mean, Batman getting Corona, it might be a fakie. I'm telling you right now, he might be a faking you out just so you think he's like, weak and vulnerable, but then all of a sudden, pow! I am the Batman. That might be the whole thing right now. Yeah, I mean, 2 weeks going back. I mean, The Rock and his family. The Rock's a national treasure. Obviously, we wish him and his family a speedy recovery, as well as Robert Pattinson. And I mean, like this pandemic keeps rolling on, and it's just when you think Hollywood's getting this feet back on the ground, they're you can't fight nature. You know what I mean? So
I mean, I agree. That's a shame that it happened, and I hope their speedy recovery as well. And I don't think it's going to affect the Black Adam movie whatsoever, because I don't think anything can affect that movie. Because, like you said, I don't think that's going to be made either. But
I don't think anything is going to kill The Rock.
Yeah,
that's the one. It's impossible.
They can always film around Patterson and like the scenes where he's not in, which will probably be few and far between. But
that's what I hear is happening right now. That they're just going on without him right now, and then filming the scenes later on.
Yeah.
So yeah. Get well, Batman. Get well, Black Adam, and Black Adam's family. You're all great guys, and people. And we hope you guys just get through this and get well. That's the important thing. The other news we're going to talk about, which in the entertainment industry is, so we're going into a galaxy far, far, far away. Well, the first person we'll talk about is Daisy Ridley, who's saying she has had horrible luck getting parts after her Star Wars tour. She's gone on multiple auditions, been turned down for all of them. The only work she's been getting is some voiceover work, pretty much in video games and an animated movie coming out. So I mean, what do you think about that, Mike? Kind of following the Carrie Fisher curse, I guess.
It's a shame because, and we're gonna get into this other actor too, as well. But it's a shame because there was a great cast.
Yeah. And
I feel like these actors, Daisy Ridley and what's Finn's name again?
John Boyega.
John Boyega. They all got the curse of getting a crappy movie. Just like Brandon Roth kind of got a crappy Superman movie where he was a great Superman, but he got a crappy movie. And they both had great characters, at least in Force Awakens. And then they got the negativity of how crappy the movies were. It's a shame because Daisy Riley was a good, character in that movie. She is easy on the eyes too. What?
Star Wars definitely has a type.
Yeah.
Dark-haired, brown-haired Englishwoman.
I think they're great actors. I'm not going to take that away from them. The only one who seems to be having any successful roles is Poe, if anything.
Oscar Isaac. Yeah, he was kind of established before the Star Wars. He had that role. Daisy Ridley. I mean, I've seen her. She's in another movie with Tom Hanks, I believe. It might be. No, it's not Tom Hanks. But I think I've seen her in one of the movie.
She was supposed to be in a movie with Tom Harlan, but I guess that movie is utter garbage. And it's not going to be finished.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, she's all right, I guess. I watch her in the Star Wars movies, and like I root for her, and I think she's all right. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not really clamoring for the next Daisy Ridley movie. Like, to be honest with you, really. I don't know. Maybe DC will pick her up and she can play Batgirl or something, or I don't know. Maybe
she'll bounce back in a few years. I think. She is talented. We're not going to take that away from her. I just think she got the curse of a really awful.
Well, it seems like a Star Wars curse. Honestly, a lot of the actors don't really. I mean, like Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher, they did the same thing for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Until,
and it's hard not to see them as that role. You know what I mean? Because they play such an ironic movie franchise, whether it was garbage or not. But that's a story for another day. But I think it's just that curse, like you said, it's the curse of being typecast.
Yeah,
I'm going to see you as that.
She's not the first person to deal with this. I mean, music like Tobey Maguire, like Christopher Reeves, Brandon Roth, a lot of these guys, Adam West. I mean, she's not the first. She won't be the last. I'm not really that sympathetic to millionaire actors.
One of those things that while they're doing those movies, they get the roles, but once the franchise is done, that's when the work tends to go away.
Yeah, don't worry. I don't think Disney's gonna let you fall on your face, Daisy. They'll think it's maybe when they do a live action Mario movie, you can play Daisy. Daisy the princess. That'd be pretty great. I'd like that.
Don't let Disney take the rights to Super Mario Bros. Because then Dark Horse will have nothing.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't think it seems to me. I mean, in the past, Disney's they fired a lot of shots at Disney too. So I don't think Disney has any interest in being absorbed. I mean, Nintendo has any interest in being absorbed into Disney at all. So I don't think you have to worry about that. The other Star Wars news we're going to talk about is actor John Boyega, very, very vocal about not enjoying his time in the Star Wars movies. I think
we didn't enjoy it either.
Well, no, that had nothing to do with John Boyega. John Boyega, I absolutely love John Boyega. I love Attack the Block. I think his Red Circle or something like that was the other movie he was in. That's the one we're talking about, Tom Hanks, I think. That's a Star Wars connection. But he's also kind of made mention that a lot of the actors of color have been kind of sidelined in the Star Wars movies. Which, I mean, if you look at it, people always bring up Lando Calrissian. But I mean, even him was like, it was kind of like, hey, it's Lando, but like, don't make him like too important to the plot. As far as his character goes, I mean, we all remember when we first saw the trailer for the teaser trailer for Force Awakens. Yeah. First shot was John Boyega pulling up the Stormtrooper helmet.
Yeah, he was literally one of the best characters and most character development in one film out of all of them.
He had no character development. Here's the thing. What a great setup for a movie. He should be the star of that movie. A stormtrooper trained from birth to be nothing but a killing machine for the Empire, and then has a crisis of faith, crisis of conscience, decides to not be a stormtrooper. He should have been the Jedi, and he should have been the one but instead
that's what I mean. It seems like in Force Awakens they were going towards that route. And that's why I feel like, at least in Force Awakens, I mean, he had the most character development. Rand Johnson, the piece of garbage that he is. Yeah, I said it, fans. I don't care if you get thumbs down for that. I mean, I think literally they just the problem was Rand Johnson just completely did his own movie, and then they just forgot about him.
There's the part in, I think it's at the end of Force Awakens, or I forget what part it is in the franchise, but where he's all hooked up to all these tubes, and then because he got hurt, something like that. Then all of a sudden he comes out and he's all the tubes all over him, and so I remember watching that theaters and saying, "Oh, so he's the fucking joke." Now you took this great character who should have been the focal point of the entire movie. That should have been built on, the whole franchise should have been built on him. The trilogy should have been built on him. And you had this character who you wasted the character, you wasted him. You completely cut them out where, he should have been, trying to find himself and, finding his way in the universe. But instead, he's like, Ray, to the point where Ray had to say, hey, stop holding my hand. And the only part in where there was a glimmer of like goodness in the Last Jedi was the part where at the end where he's going to sacrifice himself, crashing that thing, and instead Rose just comes in there, who had no chemistry with, by the way, no romantic chemistry, and sexually assaults him like by kids, kid forcing a kiss on him, and I mean John Boyega, he's completely correct when it comes to I think with the characters, it's the same thing with Rose. Rose we just talked about. She was another character who's set to be a big, prominent character. And the next movie, she's like, "Oh, I got homework to do. Sorry, can't be a part of this one."
Yeah, and I think that has a lot to do with the fans. They completely ruined and were upset with these characters that I immediately saw no flaws. They did the script they got, and I think the partial to blame is also the butthurt original trilogy fans.
When it came to these movies, there were no bad actors, there was no bad characters, there was this shitty writing, shitty producing, and they just didn't know what they wanted. All the money and all the fans for this franchise. Star Wars should have made $1 trillion. You know what I mean? But instead, they're just like, what demographic do we want? How just make the movie you want to make, and you know what Star Wars is, you know how cool it can be. Why are you doing?
And the problem is we know that Disney can do great things with that character, the Star Wars franchise. Mandalorian, Rogue One, even Solo, even though it was an unnecessary film, was pretty decent. It was the Gone of the Wind of Star Wars compared to the new trilogy. There, I said that. I'm not taking that back. I have high hopes for Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's gonna be awesome. If
one ever comes out.
Yeah, exactly. But so they really did drop the ball on the movies, at least the new trilogy, and it just proved the fucking fanboys right that Disney was gonna ruin it.
I gotta tell you too. I follow John Boyega on Twitter. I love he is so over Star Wars fandom and being part of the movies. People ask him about if you follow him at all, it's pretty funny. There was one day where he had no tolerance for any of these fans, but they started bringing up Star Wars stuff, and he just straight out saying "Are you still talking about Star Wars?" He goes, "I don't give a shit about Star Wars. I don't fuck with you guys, you stupid fanboys anymore." And it's true because a lot of these people why doesn't this character play this character? Why doesn't you have this character play Superman or make this movie? Because a lot of these characters, with the fans the way they are, no one wants to take these parts or make these movies anymore. And J.J. Abrams, you can complain about the movies. He was kind of forced into making those Star Wars movies because no one else wanted to make them. Zack Snyder, the same thing. He was kind of forced into making Superman because, I'm sure they offered him money and stuff like that. But, a lot of shit goes – that's the reason why Ben Affleck stopped being Batman. A lot of bullshit comes along with these big franchises. But John Boyega, I don't know if he plans on going back to acting. I heard rumors of an Attack the Block 2. That sounds kind of cool. But that's my John Boyega, my Star Wars news right there. And Mike, you have a few stories you want to talk about?
I only have two. So I was on vacation this weekend, so I didn't get to see a lot of the news that you got. But let's dip into the world of video games. A little Friday night game night. So it was announced, I believe Thursday or Friday. Nintendo Direct is currently going on right now. And a bunch of Super Mario news, and just today some Zelda.
Hell yeah, some Super Mario news.
So, one of the disappointing things about Switch is that it seems like a lot of it's just direct rip ports from Switch. I'm sorry, from GameCube or the Wii U, unfortunately.
This year, anyway. Yeah,
yeah.
Then again, they made 20 million. Then again, they made 20 million. Sold 20 million copies of Animal Crossing in 3 months. So
and Breath of the Wild was a phenomenal game as well. So I'll lead right into that since I'm doing Breath of the Wild. So just announced today in Nintendo Direct, we're going to be getting a Hyrule Warriors, The Age of Calamity. So this game takes place 100 years before Breath of the Wild, and that was already established in Breath of the Wild. So this game is by the same people who did Hyrule Warriors for the Wii U, and it came out for the Switch as well. It seems like this game is going to be canon. It's the same art style as Breath of the Wild, so that's actually pretty exciting.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed Hyrule Warriors.
Me too.
It was hard for me to play as Ganon to try and take on Link when you had to do that one mission. But yeah, I'm excited about this. We're getting a new Zelda game, to kind of tie this over to Breath of the Wild 2, which I guarantee you is going to come out on the Switch Pro or whatever the hell it is that they're coming out with next year. And then
Yeah.
it'll be released on regular Switch, which I hope is the case because that seems what they've been doing, trying to do since Twilight Princess way back on the Wii and GameCube. So,
to me, that's not the game that I want. I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah,
but it's not the one we want like a sequel to Breath of the Wild. We want a new big expansive like Zelda game. But I mean, I'll take this for now. This will tide me over for now.
Yeah, this is kind of what they do. Tend to do is they'll release a game to kind of tide you over till the next big one. So this is great news. Like I'm really excited about this. I think next year is Legend of Zelda's 35th anniversary.
Yep.
So I think we'll hear Breath of the Wild be definitely released next year. I also think that will be just like Super Mario 3D All-Stars. That's what I'm going to talk about next. Will be something like that will be released next year as well, like a collection of games.
Yeah, I think they're going to do. Yeah, we'll kind of get into it when we talk about the Super Mario collection. I think they're going to do the same thing with the Zelda collection that they're doing with the Mario 3D All-Stars, pretty much.
You'll probably get out of that one will be definitely Ocarina of Time. More likely than not, you'll get our Skyward Sword for the Switch. And I think that the Super Mario Galaxy, which I'm going to talk about next, is kind of testing the.
That's what I was going to say. Seeing as what we're getting from Mario, I think the ideal three. If you're going to give me 3 games, I don't think they're going to do like the old games because they pretty much have those all in the shop anyway. Yeah. But the 3 games it would be smart to do would be Wind Waker, Skyward Sword, and Twilight Princess. I think and
they already have those HD remakes on the Wii U. And I will say this, that Wind Waker HD remake was a beautiful game. Twilight Princess, I recently just beat that when I was on quarantine, in the beginning of March or something like that. I really didn't notice that much of an update from that, but it was still great nonetheless. They did add a few things. And hopefully if they do Skyward Sword that they perfect the
just give me the option of motion controls. Yeah. You can keep the motion controls, just please give me the option. Some of us don't want to do it. Like,
or go back to way Twilight Princess was on the Wii.
Yep.
Where all you had to do is sit back and go like this. And like this.
And some of you people saying the motion control, shut up. No, you don't like the motion control. Stop it. No, you don't. You just want,
on Skyward Sword, you literally had to stand up and do like the lightning strike.
That and like the aiming the thing. I don't PTSD right now.
And like
talking about Skyward Sword.
That game fucking took me 3 years to beat, and it's never taken me 3 years to beat a Zelda game.
Oh my god.
I hated the stamina. The wheel that they had on Skyward Sword, and they perfected it with the Breath of the Wild. But so hopefully they take some of the mechanics of Breath of the Wild and put it in the Skyward Sword. You know what I mean? To kind of affect some of those more annoying ass things that they had. But I'm excited about Hyrule Warriors 2, basically. And
me too. But I need a palate cleanser from the Skyward Sword talk. Give me the cookies that I want, Mike.
All right. So back to Skyward Sword. No. So next is we got announced last week, Super Mario 3D All-Stars.
The long rumored, like we know for sure it was coming out or not, then all of a sudden one day, oh, by the way, it's coming out in 2 weeks.
And I'm gonna get right into it. I wish that the Super Mario 64 was the Super Mario 64 DX that was on Nintendo DS.
I'm sure it'll add something to it, yeah. The three of my favorite games, Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy.
And I never got into Sunshine, so this is a really great time for me to get into it when it comes out, because I did reserve it. I'll be here in a couple of weeks. So this year is the 35th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
And 10 years ago, they released on the Wii, it was the Wii, Super Mario 2D All-Stars, which was basically just a port from the Super Nintendo game that came out, years and years ago.
Yeah.
I don't think there was that much of a graphic upgrade from when they did the Super Mario games from Nintendo and they updated it to the Super Nintendo graphics, really.
Yeah.
It seems like it's more polished over. The Super Mario 64 looks a lot more polished, a lot less 64-ish graphics.
That's all I want. Just clean it up a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't want you.
No, I even wanted to be a little bit more polished than the DS version that came out years ago. Because that was I tried to replay that now and it instantly gave me a headache because I think anything from like the 64 era kind of and the GameCube era starts to give me a headache now. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that these things are kind of I know I'm getting old. I'm sorry, guys. It's more polished, and that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. I'm very excited because, like I said, I love these games so much. I haven't played. I've been wanting to play Mario Sunshine for the longest time, but I don't. I haven't been able to play it for whatever reason.
I mean, I have it on GameCube, but it doesn't work. I think Woody gave it to me, and I kind of just use it as a collector's item for now, kind of add some filler to my collection. So I was actually genuinely excited when this came out. Because when it first came out, I'm like, Mario for water pack? No, thanks.
It was a little gimmicky. And that came out at the same time as some of my favorite Sonic games, like Sonic Unleashed.
And also Luigi's Mansion came out. But
yeah,
that was different because that was Luigi's own game. So I kind of didn't mind that.
It's a good game, but it shouldn't have came out. That shouldn't have been the sequel to Mario 64. I think the real spiritual sequel to Mario 64 is Mario Galaxy. I think. Yeah. And that came another beautiful game. Speaking of Mario games, though, they also announced that they're doing a re-release of Mario from the Switch anyway. Yep. Mario 3D World with an extended world, Bowser's Fury. Yep. So a whole add-on to the game. Which I mean, I think my littlest son, that's probably his favorite Mario game, and he is so excited about that. We actually reserved it. We were down at GameStop the other day because we. He's getting a haircut, and they always have to stop in GameStop afterwards. So they tricked me into putting money down for that. That game, I mean,
that's how I was able to get Super Mario 3D Mix. I'm like, oh, honey, I'm getting this for both of us. I'm getting it for myself. But she really loves Mario Bros. Now, and she's actually better at me than Mario Bros. Because, like, I kind of outgrew Mario Bros. A little bit. I know, don't hate me.
I mean, I look forward to Mario. I'm a sucker. They have my money every time I'm Mario.
And I will always get it, but I don't love it as much as I used to. So, like, whenever we have Friday night game night, it's regular game night, we always play Super Mario World. And I'm like, I don't want to play this.
Yeah, you guys switched it up a little bit. But yeah, that game's a ton of fun. I don't know Mario game I don't enjoy playing. I enjoy playing by myself and not with other people. I think it's Mario Wii U, one where it's like the two Toads and Mario and Luigi, and you have to play. Yeah. I don't like a game where I have to count on somebody else to get through a level.
I know, because I played that with one of my friends and like, oh, this would be cool. But it was us and the same screen playing. I'm like, no, this isn't cool. I absolutely hate this.
It's a good-looking game. Mario 3D World's a beautiful game. So I don't see how they can really add anything as far as like the rendering or that goes. But I'm looking forward to that. My son's definitely looking forward to that. Can't wait to see what the level's like. They also announced that with that Mario, how Tetris 99 is. They have those big, online.
Oh, yeah, yep.
When I saw that with my son, I'm like, this is Video Armageddon from the Wizard right now when they play Mario 3. And it sounds so much fun. I love playing Tetris 99 with 199 different people. I can't wait to do the same thing with Mario. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so it's Super Mario 35.
Yeah.
And it's 35 other people, which I will probably die really quick.
I'd say I can piss through Mario 1. I just go right through it.
And that's free online, so I'm gonna get that. Also, they released for free, as if you subscribe to the Nintendo channel on Switch. Super Mario 2D Mix, I heard is on there is free too, so that'll be a good thing to pick up.
The one thing I do want though, I really want. This is for another time. I mentioned before I want a re-release of the Mario Land games for Game Boy, but I want them.
So I think when you're able to come back over here and do some Friday night game night with me here, we can play Super Mario 3 Mix. It's a hack on Nintendo NES that has the Game Boy Super Mario Land game levels on there.
I want them to do what they did with Link's Awakening, where they make a 3D version of it, and I mean, I don't know. I can hope. You know what I mean? Well, like my grandmother said though, hope in one hand, shit in the other. See which one fills up faster.
Well, I'm kind of glad they took a break from remastering all of the Zelda games.
Yep.
It's nice to see that they're kind of remastering some of the Mario games that we grew up on.
Yep.
I like that. And with that being said, I hope that we get Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons in the Link's Awakening style remake. Hopefully for next year, if they announce that, that would be really great. Because those are really the only other two, other than Zelda 2, that they've been Link's Awakening that they've been rumored to be remaking forever now. Would be a nice, the only other two games they haven't remade for Zelda. But take a break from Zelda and maybe showcase that next year, and let's get more remakes of the Super Mario games.
Sounds fun. And Nintendo always taking care of us in these uncertain times. Yeah. You know, one last thing I want to mention, as far as it kind of goes with the Nintendo news, they did release one little advertisement for a Mario Kart that's coming out.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
you control it with your Switch and has a little camera on it, so you can basically. I don't know how it is they're gonna add in like racing stripes and items, that kind of thing. But that I'll say something right now. The Grezik family outside on Edgewood. Leave my address. I'll say, well, we live on a dead end street right now, so there'll be lots of times to play Mario Kart on the street.
We live in Colorado.
I live in Haiti.
Yeah. Edgewood Street in Haiti.
Yep. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much all the news I got. Mike, anything else? No,
that's it. Like I said, it was a pretty slow comic book news. I think the biggest thing this week will be a lot of Nintendo Direct going on, so maybe we'll have more news for you next Tuesday or Monday. But
we may do, Yeah. I mean, you got a bone, you got some water, you got yourself a stew.
Like there's always something out there for us to talk to you guys about. So
Yep. So that's going to do it for us this time, guys. I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, there's tons of content on this channel for you guys to look up and enjoy. Remember to like and subscribe and give us a thumbs up for more content. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.